Now that you've practiced being a social detective, let's talk about why it's important as a social thinker to also be a social detective. One thing that can be really useful is that when we are playing with our friends, whether it's a game or maybe playing with toys, that we are always paying attention and being social detectives, which means that we're thinking with our eyes. For example, if two friends are playing, and let's call these friends Jamie and Amy, and Jamie sees that Amy is reaching for a toy. Well, Jamie's being a social detective, and she knows that if Amy is reaching for a toy, that means that she wants to play with that toy. She can make a prediction that Amy is going to grab that toy to play with. Given this knowledge, Jamie is the detective, should not reach for the same toy because they know that their friend Amy is going to play with that toy next. If Jamie chooses not to be a social detective or a social thinker and does reach for the toy that Amy was reaching for, she could be seen as stealing that toy from her friend, which can make Amy feel frustrated or even sad. Amy expects that other people are going to read her plan. So they're going to be able to think with their eyes and see that she's reaching for that toy and that that's the toy that she's going to play with next. If Jamie's being a good social thinker, she would have seen Amy's plan and picked a different toy instead. So that's a great example of why it's important to be a social detective. I want you to think for a second, and have you ever been playing with a friend and they weren't being a good social thinker? Maybe they saw that you wanted to play with a toy, and instead of being a social thinker, they stole that toy from you. Has that happened to you?